You how to create isochrone maps, and those are the maps that actually take a point and then measure the distance that you can travel, depending on if you're moving by car, by bike, or if you're walking. In order to do those, we need to download two plugins. So I'm gonna show you guys that. Also, as a side note, you can see that I have a Winnipeg map already loaded in my canvas, and I usually do that because anytime I'm gonna import a map or anything else, I want it to be bounded to Winnipeg. So that's why I always have a Winnipeg background. Right, so the first plugin that we need to go and download is called Open Layers. So to download a plugin, you go into the plugin tab, manage and install plugins, and then in the search bar, type Open Layers plugin, highlight it, and then install it. Once that is done, you can close this window. And to find it, you go into Web, Open Layer plugin, and this plugin allows you to download maps straight into your canvas. So you have different options, but we're going to stick with OpenStreetMap because all the information that they have is already geo-referenced, so it's much easier to get information into GIS that way. So then just highlight that and then OpenStreetMap and click on it. And now we have our OpenStreetMap loaded. I'm going to go into the site. All right, now we need to download the next plugin. So again, go into Plugins tab, Manage and Install Plugins. This time we're gonna type ORS Tools and highlight it and install the plugin. Once that is done, you can close it. So with this, this is the actual plugin that makes the isochrone maps, but you need to sign up for it and you need to get a token. All of that is free, so I'm gonna go through the process so you guys know how to do it. So this is the symbol for the ORS tool. We click it once and then click on sign up. It's gonna take you to, I'm gonna close this extras, to the here where you have to create your account. So I'm gonna create an account just so I can show you guys how it looks. So I'm gonna put, okay, now I'm gonna send it to my university email, my first name, last name. In sector, I just always go with education. That's good enough. I don't have a website. And then password, create your own password. And then move this so that you accept the terms of service and then send. Pretty sure I did everything right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna check on my email. And here we go. So we have, you have two. One is a welcome email, which tells you what they do, and then the other one is the one that you need to use to activate your link. So click on that. It's gonna take you to a dashboard, and as you can see, I already have one. But whenever you go into here, you're not gonna have this token. So in order to request a token, you go here at the bottom of the page, click on where it says token type, and then just click free because we don't need anything else. And then in token name, I name it test. You can name it whatever you want, and then click on create token. Once it's created, it's gonna appear here, and it's gonna give you this key. It's gonna be different, obviously. So we need this key in order to make the plugin work in QGIS. So once you have it, click on it, and as you can see, it says the token has been copied to my clipboard. You can close this now. You go back to into your tool, and in here you see that little icon. It's gonna appear like that, so you need to click that little arrow here, and then paste your API key in here, and then click OK, and you're ready to go now. So now that we have set up our plugin, we need to create a new layer with a dot to tell the plugin from where we're going to measure the distance. So in order to do that, we're going to create a new layer. So go into layers, create layer, create a new shapefile layer, click on it. This window is going to pop up. File name, again, be very careful in where you save your stuff, so put in folders and everything to keep it organized. I'm gonna call this test, save. Make sure the geometry type is point, and for this it should be okay because since you already have a background map of Winnipeg, it already knows which type of coordinates it's going to use, so you should be fine there, and you don't need to touch anything else, and then just click OK. Now we have a new layer here. We need to modify it in order to put an actual point in our map. So in order to do that, you go into the pencil icon, which is it toggles the editing, click on it, and then right beside it, it's add points feature, click once, and now it's going to ask you where do you want the point. So I'm going to click right here in the middle of the site, and this window is going to show up asking you what do you want this to call this point. I'm just going to put number 1. That is up to you, whatever you want to call it, and then click OK. Now we have our little dot. Save it, and then click on the pencil again because we don't want to edit anything else in this layer, so you can close it. Okay, now that we have a layer with a point, we can use the ORS tool to create those maps. So to do so, click on the icon, go into batch jobs, and do an isochrone from layer. So we're going to use the layer that we just created. So click on isochrone from layer, and this window is going to show up. For provider, you click on the arrow and it's going to give you just the one option, so just click on that one. The input layer is the one that we created, test. It already picked it, so we're good there. ID is fine. Travel mode, so say if I want to know how far I can walk from that point in my map, then I click on the arrow here, and I'm going to pick foot walking. The dimension is going to ask you if you want to measure that in distance or in time, and this right now we're going to know how far we move and how far we can get in a 15-minute walk. So we're going to do time, and this is the range of here's in this comma separated ranges. You're going to type the ranges that you want to know. So right now we're gonna get to 2 ranges. So how long we can move from that point outside for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm gonna add a 15 minutes here. Okay, now that is set up, click run. All right, we don't have any mistakes here, which means it worked. Now you can close this, and now, as you can see in the map, it's showing the different distances. So the blue, I'm gonna cancel this one. This blue shows how far I can get in a 5-minute walk. This one shows in 10-minute walk, and this one is in a 15-minute walk. Sometimes, as you can see, that it's not really in the center of the dot, and sometimes that is because OpenStreetMap doesn't have any data on that piece of the lot. So, but you can move the dot somewhere else, and it can be more accurate. But this is essentially how you do an isochrone map. Remember that this layer is not saved yet, so if it's a temporary layer, so if you want to save it, you need to right click on it and then make permanent. Click on those 3 dots so you know in which folder you're going to put it, name it as you want to, and then click OK, and that will make it a permanent layer on your project. So that's how you use this plugin. Hopefully this helps you guys with this project.